welcome to the Spurs Lounge. In the
Hey,
second week of the lounge, I have an awesome panel tonight, and I'm ready to rock and roll. It's been an interesting weekend and an interesting day because we're breaking news. I'll get to that. Yeah, I love that.
Sound.
Um, but we have breaking news as we speak in the minutes on a huge injury. Kind of good news, but still bad news. But before we jump into the business, let's introduce our panel. The Queen, Ellie. How are you doing, sister?
Yes, I'm going to do a Romero chop.
Airport. Yeah.
Chop that hair off.
Yep.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing good, Mari. I hope you're well as well, and all the panel. They're lovely tonight. Yes.
Yeah. Tiago, my brother, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Enjoying last week of vacation. Excited to see Spurs again, and just filling in the gaps with football. Today, I got to watch the heights of Karabakh against Vitoria Pilsen from Czech Republic. That's
Oh,
how starved of football I am.
yeah.
That was Champions League qualified, right, to get in? Was
Yeah,
that?
nil
Yeah.
nil, boring.
Oh wow, wow. And then my to his left, or no, to his right, we have a queen in the house, but we also have a king in the house. King Arthur, my boy, I'm in.
We salute you.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. Excuse me.
Better
for
out
that.
and in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blow your trumpet now and again.
got
Yeah.
blow the trumpet. Got to. Oh wow, so much to discuss, and
Oh
we have
yeah.
very interesting banter for tonight. But yeah, we're gonna start off with first of all, we want to give a big up. We got Scott up in the house. We got
Come
we
on,
got
Scott.
Bob in the house. Good evening, beautiful, average looking people. Arthur, you still up? Arthur's a party animal, man. He's a party animal. So he's good. Ben is in the house. Hard day at the office. Yep, definitely understand. But time to laugh. Yes, time to laugh. And so,
Yeah.
before
Yes.
we talk about the big news, we got to talk to what led to the big news. Um, there was a big game this past Sunday. Uh,
Yeah.
it wasn't the greatest viewing pleasure, but as uh, as some people say, it was some old school Premier League football, and I loved it from a second half on. So let's look at some of the highlights of the game. And since I have the most gangster panel, that is from the king to the queen to Tiago, we're gonna put a little Tupac in there. Battle of Battle at the Bridge, Part 2. Here we go.
Gangsta party. Ain't nothing but a gangsta party. They like that party.
Hero, Purple Hero.
Ain't nothing but a gangsta party.
What man?
Ain't nothing but a gangsta party.
And the winner,
Ain't nothing but a gangsta party.
round one, both got yellow. Of course, Havertz and Romero tear off. Romero gets to prevent Romero's hair. Harry Kane equalizes, make it 2-2. Harry Kane gets the beautiful assist, and there's a celebration. No wait there. better than but Zuma, baby. It is. He celebrated 2 goals out of the thing on the handshake. As Minneapolis, he shall not let it go. He's fully of
Hey,
I'm like,
hey,
hey, what's going on
hey.
here? And you know, F with F with the you know, supposed to be later looking and then see something. The middle, sit back personally, and
Hey.
that gets the background. And the play of the match, of course, goes to Romero, voted by the
I
fans.
really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and I have a little guest that has come in and snuck in. So I'm going to probably jump off after I get everybody talking. Because last time I had this guest on, it was a soccer ball in my head, a football at my head. Um, yeah. Oh, God. Now he's joining me. Okay. So
Yay.
starting with Ellie. Um,
Yes.
what did you think of the game this past Sunday?
Right. I thought we played pretty poorly and we didn't really get into the game. The first 5 minutes we were in it and then we were out of it for the next 85 minutes and then extra time came. Thank God there was 6 minutes added on. Otherwise, we would have lost. But we didn't get into the game. We didn't perform. They were zipping the ball past us left, right, and centre, and I was so frustrated. I thought, come on, boys, give us a little bit of. They had the passion, they had the fire in their bellies, but their legs weren't going, and they were chasing the game all the time. So I was pretty upset. But I was glad that we got the draw, obviously, because we grinded it out. And I think Kane rescued us really with that Perisic world class pinpoint corner. So we got lucky, didn't we, boys? We did.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did.
yeah.
We definitely did. I'll wait till my turn about my views of the game. But we'll go to Thiago. It was a war. You gotta love it, but was a pretty first half. Thiago, what did you think about the game?
Um, Not much to say differently from what Ellie said. I think we were schooled by Chelsea from start to finish.
Mm.
And for me, it was quite surprising because in the beginning of the season, when we were talking about where we expected the club to be, lots of Spurs fans were saying we're going to finish third and that we're better than Chelsea. Chelsea don't have a transfer business, new owner, new everything, so they're going to be worse than us. But it was the complete opposite. Um,
Yeah.
on Sunday, Chelsea more possession, more chances, more passes, and I know that stats don't show the whole picture. And in the end, even though they were better than us, they still only left Stamford Bridge with a point, just as we did. But you know, as Ali said, it was lucky, and lady luck is not always on our side. So
Yeah,
these are
we'll take it.
we need to have a goal in front of them. We need to win, and the problems we had last season, they're here still. Our defense was out of place. I think the midfield got overrun most of the game.
Mm.
Couldn't really keep the possession. Maybe because Chelsea were overloading the midfield. Son was not good. Kane, apart from the goal, missing most of the game. Kulusevski missing most of the game too. The wingbacks who were very good against Southampton didn't show up much. The second goal, you can just see how disorganized our defense was. Dyer left his position and Davies was alone with two players inside our box. And of course, we conceded from that. So I don't know. I don't know if it's lack of quality. Um, if if it's just a team who's not good enough, or was just Chelsea who are better than us tactically. But yeah, it, it was ugly. But thankfully, we got away with a point. But still, for me, the overall feeling was a bad one because I expected to be a better game for us. I expected us to see something different in terms of not being schooled by Chelsea from since minute one till the end of the game.
Mm.
And if we take our bias aside, let's be honest, the Romero hair pulling probably should have been a red card.
Yeah.
Um, we were lucky the referee didn't see a foul Bentancur on Havertz, whether it wasn't or not. But at first glance, I actually thought it was a foul, and I actually thought the goal was going to be disallowed, but it wasn't. So we were lucky, and you know, you don't
Yeah.
always have the luck in football.
Yeah.
That's true.
Can your thoughts on the game? Scott brings up a good point. The game brought exposed some weaknesses that we should have already known existing in the squad.
Yeah.
Your total view of the game.
My view. Hello?
Mhm.
Did you say me?
Yes.
Right, my view. We were outrun. They came out the gates flying. We didn't. I think it took us by surprise. We then did the usual Spurs v Chelsea situation. We caved in. And we were lucky. We were lucky that we were 2-0 down at half time. It could have been more. In the second half, we started to play some shithousery. And that, i.e., the hair pulling, the tackles, the crunching tackles, the digs, the wind ups, the two managers having a fight on the side of the pitch almost. At the end of the day, it was a bloody good London derby, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I could pick holes in what went on, like everybody else can, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to say is, well done, Spurs. You gave back to them what they've been giving to us for years. And I don't forget the Battle of the Bridge.
No.
Yeah.
That's it.
We picked up 9 cards in that game. They only got 3, and they were kicking.
Yeah.
They were doing all the dirt and filth that you could name.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah,
So
I remember Dembele trying to poke.
Yeah.
What's his name? That idiot.
In the eye.
Diego Costa in the eye.
Yeah.
He was about to do it as well, but he missed.
Yeah. And if ever there was an animal in a game, it was him. But at the end of the day, we're talking about this past Saturday.
Yeah.
And I feel we did very well against a Chelsea team that was pumped up for it, and we weren't. We came in, right? But we did fight back in the second half. And late, we got 2 goals, and we walked away, and they were really upset, which is what I love more than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that Spurs could dish out to that shower is all right by me.
Yeah. Do you know what was very poignant, Arthur and Thiago and Mari? Right. So the first half went by, we got mauled, we got battered.
Yes.
Right. We only had 2 in midfield, and they were putting 4 in there because they tucked their Mason Man and James, and then they pushed forward Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek had a fabulous game, I must admit. I never knew he had it in him, because every time I saw him at Fulham, he was woeful. Anyway, the second half came, and Conte knew that he needed to change it, but he wanted to keep an element of surprise. He didn't want to do it straight away. So he thought, right, I'll wait 5 or 10 minutes, then I'll bring on my subs. And then he brought on the most vital sub, Richarlison and Perisic. They made the biggest difference. Even though Perisic didn't get into the game that much, Richarlison was giving it, and he was making nice runs to create pockets of space for us. We didn't exploit them, but you can see what Conte had in mind. And we weren't overrun. And then Højbjerg, my man, pops up with a goal, which is very rare. Very, very rare. So I screamed the whole neighbourhood, Dan, as you could believe, because Queen Ellie Højbjerg, isn't it? I'm sure my neighbours have moved out. I'm telling you, it's very quiet either side of me.
I have a question for you, Ellie.
Yes.
My view of the game, I've said it on the channels. The first half was really a nightmare. First half, second half. I'm with Arthur. I hate Chelsea. I hate Chelsea
So
even
do
more.
I. I
And
hate them with a passion.
even with and even if not even more because of what that fan did to Sonny. I don't know if you guys have seen, but
Yeah, I saw it.
there's a
What an
racist
idiot.
a
Racist.
yeah. No, don't touch. A racist claim that that as we can see from the picture, the guy's making fun with squinty eyes and, and hopefully they catch the guy. But
Yeah.
I really hate Chelsea. I hate Chelsea as much as I hate Arsenal. That's how much I hate Chelsea. So to get
Yeah.
at the bridge, the way we did it, I love it. I love it. I don't apologize. And we played like was it 10-minute mark? Yeah, we played like
Yeah.
and we still got a point out of there, so I'm happy. But going back to the first half, and I know Hoiberg did score.
Mm.
This is my nephew, guys, but he is very.
He's lovely.
Yeah. No, you'll knock the computer. Michael, I need you to go.
Give him
Lock
some
him in-
Lego.
lock him-
Give him
Lock him in the cellar.
Give him some Lego.
My mom is supposed to be watching them, and she's just not so. But it's okay. So and I know Hoiberg scored, but in this game, and like I said, I love Conte, and we're gonna get to this because I mean, I 100% love him, but I also have the philosophy in life that no one can go unquestioned. I'll
No, true.
question my pastor. It just
Yeah.
it just goes about that. Come on, Michael. So in a game like this where Chelsea seem to be pressing us, I mean, really, really good. The reason we brought in Basuma, right? Hoiberg or Bentancur.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Basuma be able to start, especially knowing the fact that Basuma gave Chelsea fits last year at Brighton. He gave them fits.
I know.
And, uh, my question is, and I know Conte sees the trainings and stuff like that, and I know some teams and Stell said it best. Quality players are going to go right in, into the starting 11. But with Basuma, wouldn't that Chelsea game would have been the perfect game for him to come in?
Yeah. And do you know what, Mari? We should have played a 3-5-2 because they overrun us. And Højbjerg and Bentancur, for however good they are at making the blocks and doing and protecting our defence, right? Because they're very good as a unit, but 2 against 4 and 2 against 5 a lot of the time as well. Because what was happening, Reece James was dropping in, so was Mason Mount, Jorginho, and Kante was playing the game of his life.
Yeah.
So he should have really changed it earlier, because then we might have even won the game. Because soon as he switched it around, he went to a 3-4-3. Actually, he didn't go to a 3-5-2. I think he should have gone 5 in the middle. Yeah, so 3 defenders and 2 wide backs, and then the wing backs tuck in to create a more defensive block, and then you press them up high. That we were doing, but if we had one more player there, because Perisic is on the left, isn't he?
Yeah.
And Emerson on the right. We would have had much more joy, and then we would have been able to feed Son and Kane, and take off Kulu, right? And then put on he did put on Richarlison, but it was a little bit too late. I think it was on the 63rd minute. Yeah. But you could see the difference. Even though they scored, that was because of Kulu losing the ball. That was a defensive mistake. Yeah, because our defence was all over the place. Yeah. So we could have even won it if he just made that change. So questioning Conte's tactics, I'm with you there, Mari.
Yeah, and you don't want to question it, but it was a head scratcher for me. And I know everybody, the easy one is
Yeah.
Emerson and Sessignon. I'm thinking more Sessignon in regards to preserving Perisic. But then again, I would rather, I don't know, for me personally, have Perisic start, get a lead, and then put Sessignon after, rather
Yeah.
than rather than have him come late. You know, um,
Yeah.
but I mean, Thiago King. I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah.
Am I right in
I
thinking?
think it's. I agree with Dali that Richarlison should have come earlier. We could literally see that when he came on, it was different. He was pressing. We had more pace to press and, attack the pockets of space Chelsea was leaving because now they had to deal with two strikers.
Mm.
And Tuchel's tactics were really good because they overrun midfield. It made it difficult for us to play out from the back, which we know our defenders are not really good at. We know they struggle when doing it, and the fact that they had always two players around our midfielders made it really difficult for us to keep the possession in midfield. So, as Ali said perfectly, we couldn't feed the ball to Son and Kane. Um, and
Yeah. They're
I
stranded.
think I think Perisic should have started because without due respect to Sessignon, and maybe Conte was like, yeah, I can't drop Sessignon after he played really well against Southampton and even scored a goal. But we know that Perisic is better than Sessignon, and he has that
Yeah.
real quality in him to finish from distance, to cross the ball. We saw the corner he put one cross with the left foot, one with the right. He can cross with both feet, which is amazing. He can finish with both from outside the box. He can be a surprise package in the far post. And Sessignon isn't that guy. We know he isn't. We know he struggles a little bit. His crossing is not the best. He's never the one who takes the opponent 1v1 and then crosses the ball. So it was easy to mark him out of the game. And
Mm.
Emerson, I don't even need to say. Everybody knows going forward, Emerson. Let's be very honest. But
Oh
it's
no.
it's a tough one. It's a tough one because Bissouma, yes, I would have started him. I actually thought he was going to come in this game. But yeah, I think Conte did well. We can't question his initial tactics, but when he made changes, we improved. There's no denial that we improved and that we
Yeah.
look better. We even got a goal with Højbjerg right after we conceded, but
Yeah.
you
We
know,
did.
we improved. We improved, and
We did.
I, I don't know.
Look,
This,
any team, if they're pressed, Tiago, like if you see the Fulham Liverpool game, that
yeah,
Fulham team pressed Liverpool so much they thought they were bloody orange squash. Yeah,
yeah,
and it was effective because they knocked Liverpool off their game, and then they played their own game. Whereas what we did, we allowed Chelsea to press
to
us
play
so
their game.
much,
Yeah,
we couldn't get our game going. I mean,
that's right.
Kulusevski they knew Kulusevski was the danger man. He
Yeah.
feeds us. He's the intelligence of the team. And they knew if Kane picked it up deep, that he could spring passes. So they were keeping a good check on him. They had a fantastic game plan and it worked. But luckily, we got that goal with Højbjerg. It gave us a few,
Yeah.
a little bit of an oomph. And then we went on, once the subs come on, we did start playing a bit better. But let's not fool ourselves. We still didn't play that well,
No,
even with the subs on.
we
I
would
mean,
be.
Ellie, let's be honest. You look at the first goal that Højbjerg scored. We tried to play the ball, lost possession, and then
Yeah,
Kulusevski gets inside their box against Jorginho. So it's not like we
yeah.
made a beautiful play and it ended up as a
Yeah,
goal.
it was their error, wasn't it? Because
And then the
Jorginho
last
was
one
trying
is
to
a
do
corner, it's a
kicky
set
ups.
piece.
Yeah,
Everything can happen in a set piece. So it's not like we did a play. It's not our tactics that took us to score a goal. And I think Conte put it perfectly after the game. He said, okay, I'm happy we showed personality and resilience in the game, but we know we can be better and we have to do better. We
yeah,
know we need to be better with the ball. And I think that's the point.
yes,
Watch out. Yeah. So.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And so, the one thing about this match, and I'm about to play it, that we love, because we just talked about the. Matter of fact, before I show this, I just want to give a big up to Lisa. She is my Cancun sister.
Yay, Lisa.
And
Love her.
the next time I'm out in Mexico, I just got to meet up with her and her family. So a big up to Lisa. But I want to definitely show what was really talked about, and it was Antonio Conte, and his battle.
Come on, Antonio.
Yeah, let me see.
I get nothing but abuse. Pumps about to get beat down. I get nothing but abuse. Pumps about to get beat down. Get nothing but abuse.
Oh my goodness! Some people or some will say the coach sets the example. The coach sets the example of the club, and they have to have a show that demeanor. I call it bullshit because,
Yeah.
and here we go. He's a passionate man. Antonio's a passionate man, and um, our club has been it's been looked upon as weak. It has been looked upon as weak. Okay, Michael. This is getting real fun. Here you go. It's a gummy. Our club has been looked upon as weak, Spursy. Antonio and Ramiro with Carlson, and they're rubbing off on this team. It started with Conte, where we're a team that we are not to be messed with.
That's
That
right.
we are
Yeah.
not
Right.
Jose Mourinho says nice guys finish last,
Yeah,
and
I
we
do.
need that grit. And so for me, I have no problem that Antonio is suspended for this next game. But you know what? Because now it shows the players. It shows the players that they have this. It's going to be a fight where
Yeah.
we have been discouraged because we have not fought. So I'm going to start with King. Arthur, you have seen this team through the decades, and I know the teams with Jimmy Greaves and stuff. They were fighters.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What do you-
Absolute battlers. You
Yeah.
know, real hard men. You know, Dave Mackay, for instance, he was brought in specifically, to stomp on the enemy.
Yeah.
Excuse my French, but shithousery. That's what it was about. Beating
Yeah.
one, if you can't beat them one way, you beat them another. And muscle
That's
was
right.
part of it. Muscle is part of football. Football
Yep.
isn't a dancing game. It's about sticking that little round object into the onion bag. And and how you do it.
I love that. Onion
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's true. I remember the days of Leeds United. They were the
Yeah.
same. Your Billy Bremner's horrible little sod he was.
Yeah.
But you had to have them. And what's happening now is that, and people don't like it, suddenly we're not Spursy anymore.
No.
Suddenly we can bite back and bite back hard. And I like it. I like a bit of the old 1-2, get in there,
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah.
It isn't, they call it the beautiful game, but other people don't play the beautiful game. So you've really got to meet them on their level. And that's what we did. That's what we did Saturday. And they didn't like it.
No. And one thing I saw with Conte, right, he actually instigated the fire in our bellies
Yes.
even more in the second half.
Oh,
Because
yes.
they could see what was going on the touchline, the players, and they reacted because they thought our coach is upset, right? We've got to do something about this and get back into this game.
Yeah.
And all bully for them, they did put it in the onion bag twice. So we didn't deserve it. So who cares? Listen, in football, sometimes you get what you deserve, and sometimes you don't get what you deserve.
That's right.
All right, and it weighs up all the season. It levels out. So I'm glad that Anthony Taylor was the referee, though, because they don't like him, and they were already on a wind up, weren't they?
Yeah, I'm going to step in here and say this.
Yeah.
All you guys, put a title to that picture that's on the screen.
Oh, right, yeah.
What's he actually saying to him?
I reckon he's saying, my pasta is better than yours, mate.
Tiago?
I can make a good plate of pasta.
What do you think he's saying to him?
I don't think I could say it on a live stream. Maybe I would get Murray
That's
Ben.
why I kept it.
I mean, by the way Monty looks, it was not nice.
I don't have $1,000, so I can't really get the monetize.
Come on, have a go at it.
Can we be a bit rude?
Yeah, go on.
Go on, Tiago, give your one.
I think he's saying fuck off with German sausage. And I'm with Monty because after those guys beat us 7-1 in the World Cup, that's all I want to say to a German in a football game.
Maury, what do you think he's saying?
Oh, well, actually, I have to just caption this, but I was gonna say my dick bigger than yours, my friend. You don't want to mess with
my
me.
Italian sausage is bigger than your German sausage.
You know what I reckon he's saying?
Your bratwurst is not as big as my Italian bread, baby.
I reckon he's saying, if you don't let my hand go, I'm gonna kill you, and I'll make you a contract you can't refuse.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
But,
so you might be taller than me, but the bigger you are, the harder you fall.
Well, if you look where his head is, it's in the right place.
Yeah.
For his nose.
Headbutt, blooded nose.
Go on, Antonio, kill him.
Yeah, Antonio.
And I think you're right. I think that's what happened with our team. They saw all these shenanigans, and they put their backs up.
Yeah.
And they said, right, they want to fight. Let's have a fight.
Yeah, and also because Tuchel took his eye off the game, he got too emotionally involved with what Conte was doing. Took his eye off the game.
He did.
Whereas Conte was focused.
Yeah, I can't
he
wait
knew what
for
he was doing.
I can't wait for the return at White Hart Lane.
Nor can I.
Going to be World War III. And so, with all the emotion that we had in the game, another part of the game, and I can't say how much I love this guy. I know Thiago loves him to a point because of his allegiance, Brazil, Argentina. Oh, yeah. But Romero, I love this dude. There goes Cucurella's win. There goes Blake. He has top dog. The hair pull.
Yeah. I love Richarlison. Yeah.
Romero took that person. He took that person.
Yeah.
And even that toe with Havertz, they go together.
Looks like a scout.
Even Lamella gets in there.
That's so cool. I love that one with Lamella.
Christian Romero. Let me give you guys an update. It was 3 to 4 weeks that was reported that he'd be out, but his entourage, the people in the know, said no. He's only gone for 7 to 10 days. And it's a knock, the same knock from Cucurella.
Yeah.
I didn't complain about the hair pull, but people tend to forget that Cucurella stamped near his knee. He stamped near his knee.
Yeah.
So and now he's going to be injured. So you know, so all those people who are bitching and moaning about the hair pull, Romero always gets his man. Right? He
Oh
gets
yes.
Does.
he gets his payback. But
Yeah.
tell us about his influence on the team, and now that he's gone, whew, we're lucky that it's only going to be 10 days. But what does this say about our club and what we need to do? Because I've been harping, we need a center back. We need a center
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
We do.
Dyer and Davies, they can stay on the team. But I was expecting us to get a Bastoni, a Gavidal, or Milinkovic, who
Yeah.
that may be, to come in. We got Langley, but uh,
We
we
haven't seen him.
we're
Played
expecting
20
someone else
minutes.
center back. We need someone to play center back other than Dyer. I
Yeah.
would like someone to
Yeah.
start over Dyer.
I
So
know.
I'll throw that out to Tiago. Um, how much does Ramiro mean to his club, and what are we going to do? Is this a warning sign to Patici to get on the phone and start hollering for a center back?
Well, okay, let's go with influence first. No denial he's our best center back. He's head and shoulders above Dyer and Davies. You can all argue, oh, they were good last season under Conte, but Romero is Romero. He's a quality
Mm.
center back. Look, the tackles and the blocks he makes is just quality.
Yeah.
But um, and I stand by my point, and this is no bias whatsoever because doesn't matter where it is, if it's club football or national team football. For me, Argentinian shithousery is one of the most overrated things I've ever seen in football because these guys are just so close to getting sent off. And imagine if Romero gets sent off in that game and we lose
Mm.
him for 3 games.
Mm.
It's not smart. It's stupid. It's reckless, and he was lucky. Okay,
Yeah.
banter is nice. Getting your you know opponent rattled is nice, but look what Christian Anderson did against Darwin Nunez. He wasn't even close to being sent off. He got Nunez sent off. Romero, don't think it was the same case. He could have been sent off depending
Yeah.
on
He
what
was
day it
very
was.
reckless.
So Argentina shithousery, it's tough because these guys they get to a level where it's not banter, it's violence, and I've seen it for years against Brazil, against Colombia. These guys, they're gonna look at your leg and they're gonna crunch you in the middle, and they're gonna end their career if you let them. So he needs to be careful with that, very very careful. Um, and with his injury, I've always said we need a center back, and
Mm.
Romero getting injured shouldn't be the reason why we go after another one. It's always been a priority. The game against Chelsea, we saw the liability of our defense. We saw how much our defense can be exposed, and there
Mm.
are really good center backs that are not that expensive out there. Gvardiol would have been amazing. Bastoni would have
Yeah.
been amazing. Skriniar would have been amazing. But
Yeah.
Stefan de Vrij, he's miles better than Eric Dyer. 20 million euros, has worked with Antonio Conte, has played at Inter Milan a high level, and most importantly, he has won with Antonio Conte. He knows what it takes to win a trophy with our
Yeah.
manager. And you look at Perisic, he comes into the team and he feels comfortable. Why? Because he knows what he needs to do. Because he knows the
Mm.
manager, and the manager asks ABC. He knows what he needs to do. And
Yeah.
with the
Mm.
right, it's the same. He doesn't need time to adapt to Antonio Conte. He knows what Conte wants from him.
True.
So there's no reason for you to say, oh, there are no good center backs out there. There are. And Romero getting injured shouldn't be the reason why we start going after one. If there's room for improvement, you need to improve.
And you
And
mentioned
thankfully, he's out for only 10 days because if it was 4 weeks, I think he would miss West Ham, Man City, two Champions League games, and we are in pot two in the Champions League draw, so we might get like PSG or Real Madrid. We can end up in a
Mm.
group with Real Madrid and Inter Milan at the same time. Imagine if those are the two first games we have and we don't have
Mm.
Romero. It's
Yeah.
He's really important for us.
Yeah, he
So
is.
And I'll mention this because you bring up Skinner. Inter Milan has to, and I went to check it out. They have to sell a major
They
player.
do.
They have to, and my thing is, we haven't forced the hand of Inter, and they need to sell in regards to Skinner. Um, I'm just dumbfounded by it, and now more than ever, this is the time to force that hand because they need to sell. They actually do need to sell.
Yeah.
So I will go to next King. Romero reports to his team, man. What do we do now that he's going to be out for 2 weeks? It looks like.
Cry. No, seriously. Well, they're going to have to work something out, aren't they? They've got long leg, Dyer. What is
Sanchez.
it? Yeah, Sanchez. That's a good point. I'd forgotten about him. Yeah, he's a good player. Well, he's going to have to work with him on the training ground and see who comes out looking the best, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because that's all we can do. We can't go out tomorrow and just pick up somebody. It's going to take time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now,
Yeah.
I have every faith that Paratici is doing deals or trying to do deals out there, not just for backs, but also for a couple of forwards,
Mm.
right? But it will take time. It won't be done tomorrow or next week, but in time, in a couple of weeks for the end of the transfer window. At the moment, we're going to have to plug the gap with what we've got, which is not much.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah. Queen.
I tell you what, just to add, I think what Ellie said, Sanchez, I think he could do a job. Because
Yeah.
I think he's tough enough and he's quick. So we have seen him play a few decent games towards the end of last season. Do you remember?
Yeah, of course.
He played very
Against
well.
Arsenal, he played very well.
He got plaudits for that. I was
Yeah,
at that.
he did.
I was at that game as well, Ellie.
So was I.
That was a bloody good game. That.
It was a bloody good game. He done a really good ball to Kane
Yeah.
that led to the goal.
I'm going round in circles, but if we'd come out on Saturday in the same way we came out against Arsenal, then it would have been a draw. I think we would have beat them, but we didn't. They took us by storm.
Yeah, true.
That's my feeling on it. You can nitpick and pick on different players, but the overall situation was we didn't have fire in our belly. We were taken by surprise, and they walked all over us.
Yeah. One thing I'd like to caveat there as well, basically, we can't expect a better finish if we don't blood our new players and we blood them quickly. Like I'm looking forward to seeing Jed Spence because I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
He's a lot better than Emerson. First of all, we can beat a man. He can pass it to Kulu because he's not the best crosser I've ever seen.
No.
But he's not a terrible crosser. It's a 50-50 if it finds its man. Because I've been watching a lot of him. So I'm looking forward to Longley coming in because he can actually pass the ball.
Yeah.
None of our defenders, apart from Romero, can pass the ball accurately.
That's right.
Dyer's passing is Dyer. Davis, 50-50. He'll either go to the opposition, he'll hit it down the line, or he'll hit it out. Right? So there's a big improvement coming into the squad. All right? So the first 11 have to be improved. I can understand Conte's reasoning for starting the same 11, but you're going to get the same finish. You're going to get a full finish or worse.
Yeah.
Because they did step up more so than previous seasons, especially Davies. right?
Yeah.
So you're not going to get anything better. So we've got to improve, and we've got to add as well. We've got to go out to the transfer market. We've been looking at this guy who does set pieces. I think he's a Ukrainian boy. I can't
Yeah.
even pronounce his name.
He's
It's too
good.
long. Yeah,
Malinovsky.
he's a very good player, right? So he'll be a good addition to our squad. But the biggest thing is defence. We've got to get our defence right, Mari, because Mari, everybody knows defences wins leagues.
Yeah.
Because you look, right, we've scored 6 goals. Man City have scored 6 goals, but they've only let in 0. Nothing.
Yeah.
We've let in
Yeah.
3 already. And if
I
that's
know.
a trajectory, we will never catch up with them if we
No.
don't strengthen at the back.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
And
agree. I tell you who would be a good.
It's not
good,
rocket science, is
No,
it?
I tell you who would be a good addition though on those set pieces. Ward Prowse.
Yeah, he would be. But the thing is, he's 75 million to get him. They want 75, 80 million.
Is
That's
that
the
what
problem.
Arsenal? Oh dear.
But you know what? We're a big club. If we have got ambition and we want to go places, that's the sort
the
of
money.
player. He could get you 15 goals. That's 15 goals more than
Yeah.
we had.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
yeah,
I just want to say something quickly here because I think Ellie touched a really important point. You're gonna get the same finish if you don't change the players.
Yeah.
Thomas Tuchel said the same thing in his preseason. He said, "I didn't get new players. How do you expect improvement if the players are the same?"
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what he
Absolutely
said in
right.
there's
preseason.
good coaching and good tactics, but if you've got the same players, they can only give
Yeah.
you what they can give you.
Yeah.
Conte squeezes
Exactly.
a little bit extra out of the ones that are not quite Premiership level, because we know
Yeah.
Davis, he could be in the Championship and he'll look better, but in the Premiership, all right,
Yeah.
he stepped up last year, but we know that his level is a 5 or a 6. He won't go above that.
No.
And the
Yeah.
thing is, before he hit a 5 and a 6, he was playing as a 2,
I
a
know.
3. That's what his
Previous to
performance
that,
was.
if you gave
So
him a 2 or 3, you were laughing.
because that's the standard. I was on a stream with Tottenham away, and Iggy said this.
Yeah.
Our standards for Davies and Dyer were so low when Antonio Conte came in that
Yeah.
for them to do better, they didn't have to do much.
No.
So what they did is not exceptional. It's better than what we had as standards for them. And
Yeah.
a lot of people saying after we signed Langley, oh, it's sad. Dyer and Davies were very good for us last season. And today, when Romero got injured on Twitter, every Spurs fan I saw was crying, "Oh my God, we need a new center back. We need another center back." But wait,
Mm.
weren't Dyer and Davies good enough? Suddenly, they're not. Suddenly, we need another top quality center back because we don't trust Dyer and Davies. So I don't understand this fan base when they say we don't need a center back. We need one.
Of course
Are you
we do.
crazy? You
We're
look at
crying
me,
out
and
for one.
if
I
I
was
ask you, who would you rather have as your left center back? Ben Davies or Alessandro Bastoni?
Yeah.
Bastoni.
Are you really kidding me? You're not gonna say Bastoni? Of course you are.
And and I will say this because I was on Twitter. A couple of people, 1 or 2 people that were praising Ben Davies, and I will say this. Granted, Ben Davies has become great, along with Dyer, but I'm talking about Ben Davies to the point of he makes it on the squad. But if you were realistically saying after that $150 million promise that you thought that Ben Davies, after everybody named her name like DeVries, right? You were thinking that Ben Davies is going to be our starting center left back for the Champions League, for the Premier League, right? I would have called you crazy. Most people wasn't expecting that. And you saw people, a particular person who, cries wolf every time you criticize, their posts, right? They will say, oh, Ben Davies, what? You're being negative. You're being negative. You know, if you're talking about Ben Davies and his contract whatsoever, and I'm saying people not being negative. They just thought
No.
they get better than Ben Davies and started. Like, don't you want better than Ben Davies? You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what is better
Listen.
than Ben Davies? What is better than Eric Dyer is not being negative. It's the ambition. That's what
Yeah.
Real Madrid does. That's what PSG does. That's what a big club does. They
Yeah.
want better. You know, it's not being negative, but our fan base seems to be the one. You know, and you, Ellie and King, you can go back to. You know, when we got Jimmy Green, we got
Mm.
we were the club that would get the name player in, and we brought in trophies.
Yeah.
But
Not just that. We had a brilliant left back called Cyril Knowles. He was
Oi.
fabulous.
you know,
Fantastic
Fabulous
player.
player.
you
The
know,
thing is, it's what you expect, right? So if Davis is the only player that you've seen, right, you haven't got nothing to compare with because he's been there for 8 years, or is it
Yeah.
9 years now?
Yeah.
Right?
big clubs, unless you're a club legend. I mean, is Ben Davies a club legend? Like, I mean, unless you're a club legend, you should not last 8 years with the career of Ben Davies,
True.
let alone Eric Dyer. And I'm not. No
Yeah.
one's saying for them to be out of the club. We
Listen,
just
there's no
they're good.
Murray, right? There's no problem with giving him praise for last year because he stepped up.
He did.
But
Yeah.
he's still not, even where he stepped up, he might have performed at a 7-8 rather than a 2 or a 3 or a 4, right? But he's still not of the level because he's 7 is still worse than a DeFry's 7 because DeFry will give you much more. A Longley will give you much more. They're all round better footballers.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, they can give you more to your team.
It's-
Yeah.
I just so for me that Twitter conversation, I found it very amusing because I'm just like, okay, you call people negative because they want better than Dyer,
Mm.
you know, and as of this year, even with Ramiro there, we're leaking goals. We're leaking goals.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
Yeah.
seats. You know, I saw someone post on Twitter before I got on the show. Oh well, we won the last 3 games of the year with that lineup of Davies, Dyer, and Sanchez. I said, you know what? We were fortunate. You want to go a whole year with those guys?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm a betting man. I bet you that we don't get top 4 with those 3. The
Yeah.
rest of the year, you know. And so it's
Yeah, but they also forget that from November to February in the last season, we struggled a lot with. I think you guys remember the win lose situation we were in.
Yeah, I
Romero
know.
was injured at that point, and now our back line was Dyer, Davies, and Sanchez. That's
Yeah.
their inconsistency. I think Davison Sanchez is the perfect example. One game, he looks absolutely world class, and you look at him and you go like, "Wow, there is the 42 million pounds we put to sign him." Then the
Mm.
next game, you start to question yourself: How did this guy become a professional football player?
Yeah. I know. Because he trips
crazy.
up over himself, doesn't he? He's like a ballerina.
Ellie, do you know what I got told today? I got told on Twitter that the problem in our team is the midfield because our midfield doesn't protect the defense enough.
Come on. They
And then
work
I
their
had a guy
butt
saying,
off.
"Oh, but remember under Pochettino we had Wanyama and Dembele. Yeah, but look what we had at the back: prime Hugo Lloris,
Yeah.
prime Kyle Walker, prime Danny Rose, prime Toby, prime Jan. We don't have none of those guys. You look at
No,
City; their
no.
midfield is amazing. Still, they went and spent 75 million on a center back. They went and got Ruben Diaz, which was one of the biggest prospects in center back in the world.
Yeah.
Even though they already had Rodri, De Bruyne in midfield, they had the best midfield in the world. Still, they are going for a top quality left back, a top quality right back,
Yeah.
a top quality center back.
see, can I tell you something? Which it burns my it just burns my it burns my skin even thinking about this, right? You have the new Chelsea owner, right? Right? Because now people say oil money, right? Man City, right? Can't compete with that, you know. Okay, right? Abramovich, his type of money, okay, we can't compete with that, right?
Hmm.
Chelsea's new American owner, right? Cannot go toe to toe with with Joe Lewis, right? Joe Lewis and even Tavistock made money even despite the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Because of their investments in Florida. Florida banked, right? 19 billion. California sank, right? Right? Just to educate the people who are watching, right? You got right the demise of Chelsea, right? We saw that Saturday, right? The demise or Sunday, the demise, right? Those guys was able to buy Koulibaly that we've been linked for years. Cucurella that we've been linked for years. Now they're on the verge of buying Fontana from Leicester City.
Yeah.
From Leicester
Fofana.
Fofana.
Fontana.
Fofana. Yeah.
For
It's
Leicester
okay.
City. Who is quality? Who's quality? He will start without him easily. And I'm scratching my head here. I'm like, how these guys, right, are able to do that, right? And when we are financially more stable
Yeah.
than Chelsea's owner. Like seriously, like for me, it frustrates me. Now,
Yeah.
I would think Paratici's on the phone looking for a center back cover because it's like, wow, yeah, Romero could be like, all right, he's coming back, in 10 days, but what if later in the season? So for me, it burns my skin because I'm just like like
I know.
Chelsea
Because
here.
our owners don't put their own money where their mouth is. That's the problem. Whereas other owners do. And it's upsetting because you think these men, they're billionaires. They can afford to put, all he has to do is give 60, 70 million to get us a nice,
We
quality, world class centre back.
We're not a poor club. I laugh every
No,
time
we're not.
someone says that. We
Bloody
are not
wealthy.
dead if we stayed in our lane. Like Liverpool, to be honest with you, Liverpool, the Henrys, right? Joe Lewis makes 3 times more. Actually, the Henrys struggled during the pandemic. They had to sell their star players from the other teams that they own, the Boston
Mm.
Red Sox, because of the financial. Like you look at them in comparison to Joe Lewis, like we should be at least honestly now that Chelsea has Tom Bowie as his then as their CEO owner.
Yeah.
We should be at least financially second, as high as second in the league behind Man City. Right? All right, we can't be oil money.
Mm.
And you watch Chelsea, you watch these other teams. I'm just like scratching my head. I'm like why? And so, and
Right.
I'll say this before I go to
Yeah.
Thiago. I looked at the special Sky Sports had with the 30 years, and look at each team. They had an era. Our time is now. Our time is now with Conte.
It
Our
is.
time is now to put. So I'm looking at the beginning of the
Right.
Premier League. Look at the teams that won. The Premier League. Man City had their reign. Arsenal was there with Manchester City. Then came Chelsea with Mourinho. Then later on, Man City came in. Then Leicester was a blip that came in. I'm looking at this monologue, and I'm just like, why not Tottenham? Why not Spurs? Now
That's
is
right.
the time for us to put a dent in the Premier League and say, this is the Spurs era. Let it be 3 or 4 years, the Conte years, where we're winning trophies, we are putting our mark in the Premier League. Since it's 30 years old, let's put that mark in. So when it's 50 years old, hey man, you remember that Spurs era? Conte, and then got
Yeah.
passed to the following, the following coach because Doogie and Spence, world class center wing backs. You know, Brian Hill, if he's still not becomes a star. You know, we get you know we got Dave Scarlett. He's like legend. 15-year career. Like I dream of that. And so
Yeah.
yeah.
It's true. It's our time to push on and actually do something. I'm fed up of finishing fourth, fifth, sixth. What's that going to get us? We
Nothing.
made the Champions League. We didn't push on under Poch. Then Poch gets sacked, and then we bring in Mourinho, and then they sack him 6 days before the cup final. That's not how you run a club. That's not how you run a successful club. And then you don't back a manager. Now we've got Conte, strike while the iron's hot before he hops off.
Yeah.
Because he's a very volatile man. He could go just like that. If we're not giving him what he wants, he should be in Levy's room tomorrow morning demanding a centre back and a creative midfielder and a quality right wing back. Because Spence needs time to bed in. He's a talent, the boy, but he needs time. Because it's a big jump from the Championship to the Premiership.
How do we know that he hasn't been doing that?
I hope he has, because it doesn't seem that way, Arthur.
No, I can't see Conte laying down for anybody. He's got his own ideas. He's got his own ways. He won't damage his own reputation. And the only way to do it is to go in and front Levy. And I think he's done that on more than one occasion.
Oh, yeah, he's done it. But I think now is the time, because Romero's going to be out for 10 days.
Yeah.
And we've got Sanchez. We've got Dyer. We've got Davies. That's not going to win you matches.
I'm not a gambling man, but I wouldn't mind taking a bet. He's banging on Levy's door already, saying, right, he's out. I want someone in to replace him. And plus another one.
Yeah.
And it's annoying because I saw it today on Twitter. Someone put a picture on how the Big Six dominated English football in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
So in the last 29 years of the FA Cup, Arsenal won 10 times, Chelsea 7, United 5, Liverpool 3, City 2, and Spurs 0.
Yeah.
In the last 29 Premier League seasons, United won 13, Chelsea 5, City 4, Arsenal 3, Liverpool 1, and Spurs 0.
I know.
Yeah.
That tells you something, doesn't it, Tiago? It tells you something.
Yeah, I was embarrassed. to read because
I know.
We always go, oh, we're a big club, we're this and that. And I'm not saying we're not a big club. We are a big club. There's no denial of that. But if you look at the present, we're nothing. We don't win a trophy. But we glorify the Pochettino days, and I'm not trying to take anything away from him. And I loved the moments we had with him. But it's just that one of those relationships, for example, that you only see was toxic when you get out of the relationship. And I'm not saying Poch was toxic, but it's because we didn't win a trophy. No. The season Leicester won the league. It was a 2-horse race, us and Leicester, and we still finished third. And we call that successful. We call that brilliant.
Yeah.
How?
The problem is we're a club whose owners have short arms and long pockets.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And all they want to do is listen to the tills ringing.
I don't think it's the club, Arthur. I think it's Levy. He's a man with short arms and very deep pockets. Because, how doesn't he... And people say, oh, he's not a bad owner. If he was a good owner, he would look at this picture. It's talking about the last 30 years. He's been here for the last 22. So for the biggest part of this 30 years, he's the owner. If he really was a good owner, he would look at that and he would feel embarrassed. He would feel embarrassed that he has 2 big zeros in terms of trophies. On FA Cup and Premier League, of course.
I know Maury knows this, but I actually met Levy when he first took the club over. right? And all the promises that he made. Oh, we're football fans like you are. We want success brought back to the club. We're sick and tired of watching us go nowhere. 22 years on, where are we?
One trophy. And it's a League Cup. It's not as if it's a trophy, but it's not a significant trophy.
We're behind everyone because Arsenal. Okay, in terms of history, I think every Spurs fans know that Arsenal they have more trophies than us. They won more Premier Leagues, more FA Cups, and all that. They were ahead at the time already. Invincibles. United were ahead. Liverpool maybe on the same level, but now City is ahead. Chelsea is ahead. Leicester have won a Premier League. Leicester City, without due respect, but Leicester City has a Premier League, and we don't.
Even Blackburn Rovers have won the Premier League.
Blackburn have a Premier League, we don't. That's for us.
It's
this
shameful.
should be embarrassing. This should be embarrassing. Again, without due respect to those clubs, but for us, that should be embarrassing because I come from a country where not winning is failure. If we get to the World Cup final in 2022 and we lose, these guys are gonna get killed when they step a foot into this country. Yeah. I love winning. I love trophies. That's how I build. I'm not happy with top four because people in Brazil they don't know Spurs as in the United States, in England, of course. So when they say I support Spurs, they go like, "Oh yeah, the team that got the Champions League final." Say, "Yeah, we had those 2 seasons," and then when we're in the debate, they go like, "Yeah, what about trophies? What has Tottenham won in the last few years?" And they go like.
One trophy. I know. It's so depressing.
I'm going to get to the next segment of caption this, but I will say this, and I say this, here in the States, right? You take a club like Tottenham, where, okay, it's maybe in regards of championships, in regards to Man U and Liverpool, because Liverpool's won the European championships 6 times, and you 3 times, but the Premier Leagues. And you look at Spurs, right, and you put them in the States. I say this: you put them in the States, right? I say that the fans, unitarily, 100%, will be outraged because you look at the history and you look at the present. Like, people will be not only wear paper bags over their head, they'll be burning them because franchise a team like Tottenham, if you put them equivalent to some teams, professional teams in the States, all hell will break loose. Because I blame Levy, but part of the blame with the fans, especially those who would. And I call the Tottenham the LA Clippers of the NBA. And you're like, who's that? The LA Clippers. LA Clippers are the second basketball team in LA. They make money. They make money. Number one reason because they're in the NBA. Number two, they share a second new arena with the Lakers. But people look at the Clippers as a failure, not because they make money, right? They're commercialized. The problem is they don't win. Until recently, they got to the conference finals, but then that was it. And so I look at our team where we taste a little bit of success and we think that's the ultimate success, as no, it's below the standard from the history from the team. I've only saw one cup raised, only one, and that was the Carling Cup. I think that was called the Carling Cup. And more was coming, and I have not seen it since.
So your point, Mari, we should change our name to Tottenham Clippers.
Mari,
you know what I mean?
Mari, as a quick aside, your nephew reminds me of Bob Spur, only he's got hair.
And Bob Spur puts their best. If we won League Cups back to back, I wouldn't. honestly, I would not mind. I wouldn't mind that. At least
Yeah.
it's a trophy. It's
It's-
success. I would
yeah.
take. If you told me we could three-peat in winning the League Cup. I would take it. I would take it. It's a trophy, you know.
When you think about, we have to take it because we've only won one League Cup in 22 years.
Yeah. You know, no, I would take it. And for me it's just frustrating. And so now you got people panicking. No, it's not 3 to 4 weeks. It's only 10 days. But it's just like, okay, our worst fear, Romero getting hurt. Oh shit, with Davies, Dyer, and Sanchez, and we gotta hope for the best.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and so
We should all go to church, shouldn't we?
oh,
And
man,
pray.
Now I know you're joking.
I'm praying. Number one, we don't get another injury. That's number one. I'm praying that we don't get another injury, and then let alone I'm praying that they like the last 3 games of the last season, they do the same. You know,
Depends who the injury goes to, doesn't it? If it's like Kane or Sonny or Kulu, that's three major players in our side. We don't want, God forbid.
yeah, yeah, and so it's
If it's Davis, will anybody cry? If it's Dyer, will anybody cry?
No.
Not
no,
many. I think 90% of the fan base won't cry. There's 10% that like them. You'll always get players that are favourites of fans, regardless of how bad or good they are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a good goal Dyer scored the other week, but apart from that,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
It's his first goal in 3 years. Thank you very much, Eric Dyer.
absolutely.
And he's a big guy. He's 6'2". You know, he should be scoring more like
Is
that.
he? I thought he was 6'3", 6'2", is he?
I think he's 6'2". The last time I looked on Wikipedia, he was
Yeah.
6'2".
Big lad, big lad.
He was
Murray.
5'2" at that corner at Chelsea.
3'2".
Yeah.
No, it's just a quick thing because I just remember this about the trophies. The way we're run by Daniel Levy, it's very much starting to fail because we had Pochettino, we had all those moments. I was winning a trophy. We could have pushed on, we didn't. We brought in Jose, failed. It took us 72 days to find a new manager because so many managers rejected us.
That was
If
shameful
Antonio
as well,
Conte
wasn't it?
fails, and I'm
Yeah.
not, and again because of Levy, I'm really afraid of who our next manager is going to be. Because I
know.
doubt a quality manager will look at Tottenham Hotspur and go, okay, I'm going to take the job. Because they're going to see Pochettino, which was one of the best things that happened to us in terms of on the pitch results, like in this century, apart from Red Knapp and, of course, the Carling Cup in 2008, and maybe a trophy in the beginning of the century. I'm not good with numbers and dates, so excuse my memory.
Apparently, though, AVB had the better record. Would you
Yeah, I think
believe?
it's win percentage, right?
Win percentage, AVB
Yeah.
was the best.
And then you get Jose Mourinho, which you can say whatever you want, but he said as what was going to happen with Tanguy Ndombele. Look how much we struggled. He talked about Dele Alli. The guy is already leaving Everton to go to Turkey. He won
That's going to
25
be
trophies.
interesting.
he wasn't bad. He was bad. Like I said, he won his skin yard. We gave him Roden.
You know what he said?
Yeah.
It's coming true, and
He's
you
right
can have.
He's right about Luke Shaw. It's all
Yeah.
it's a-
He was right. He was right about Man United. When he left United, he said, "I think you're going to see with time, but for me, one of the biggest achievements in my career was finishing second place with Man United, and you now see the mess they're in. You can say whatever you want about Jose and his time at Spurs, because the football at moments it was like, please, someone poke my eyes because I don't want to watch it anymore."
the last one to win a trophy with United, and even won a trophy with Roma.
Yeah, do you know what? A lot of people they write off Jose. They make me sick. He's the most decorated manager, and they write him off like he's a dinosaur. He's past it. Yeah, he's so past it that he won a trophy.
He brought a cup. He won a cup to
Doesn't
everywhere.
matter what trophy you won, it's still a trophy.
Yeah. He has 25 major trophies in his career. We have
Yeah.
26. Jose Mourinho
see-
alone. No, now he has 26 because he had 25 when he joined us and now 26 with Roma. Jose Mourinho alone has the same amount of major trophies as our club in his whole history. So we owe him respect as everybody else
We
does.
do.
Yeah.
And you look
And
at the biggest
Arsene
manager in
Wenger-
football history. He failed. Who do you really think is going to come here and look at this club and see all these failed managers? Antonio Conte wins everywhere he goes, wins the league. He won the last 5 of his 7 league competitions. Who's going to want to come here?
I know.
I wouldn't. For my career, I wouldn't. To be ruined again.
You see, another one, Arsene Wenger, they hounded him out at Arsenal. Handed him out. Okay, he wasn't achieving what he was achieving early doors, all right, but he still achieved so much for them. If they persevered with him, I think they would have gone on to another run. But now they've declined. Now they've got Arteta in charge of them. They're not going to go anywhere with that manager, by the way, however good their players were.
I'll take it. I'll take a participation trophy.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Yeah.
And we're not defending Jose for his time at Spurs and the football that was played because it really was bad. And of course, there's the whole argument: was it Jose? Was it the players? And we're not gonna get into that. But you cannot deny that he's one of the best managers in football history. We had him.
Of course he is.
All the other clubs he went to, even Porto, he won a Champions League with Porto. A Champions League.
Yeah.
He couldn't achieve a trophy with us.
And they're a relatively small club, Porto. They're not a massive club. You know,
They are very historical.
It's a historical club, but like what I'm saying, they don't have the pulling power of Real Madrid or Barcelona or Juventus or Inter Milan. You know, they're not at that status, and he won the Champions League for them. That's amazing.
So
and for us, he achieved nothing.
So I would say this to end before we go to caption this. Now, before the closes, they have to. I mean, Paratici has to be on the phone, and really they got to sign a center back. I think even more. I can't believe I'm saying this. I guess I can live with Emerson, and Daugherty. I mean, I can live with that, but we need another center back. We need another center back, and we need an attacking midfielder. Hopefully, we can get this guy for Atalanta. You know, but yeah, we really need a center back because this is what we feared, and it's only 10 days, but it's. I've been saying this. I did not expect day one Davies, Dyers, and Romero. I was not expecting that. At worst, I was expecting a De Vrij, Dyer, and Romero. I would say at worst.
At worst, yeah.
By the way,
now we have Sanchez, Dyer, and Davies. And it will work against the Wolves. It may even work against West Ham in the next one. It's Man City. Mind you, we've leaked 3 goals already. We have not had a clean sheet. So
just to say, since he joined, it's his 4th injury, Romero. 4th.
Yeah.
Again, no bias, but these Argentinian players are pissing me off because every single Argentinian player that comes here, he just gets injured all the time. Romero, I have an injury in my hip. I can't play the last 3 games of the season for Spurs. No Romero for Arsenal, Burnley, and Norwich. 3 days later, he plays for Argentina. Wasn't he injured?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I mean, the Argentinians of new, yes, I agree with you, but the Argentinians of old,
Of
Like the
vote,
two,
of course.
no, the two that we had, Ozzy and Ricky, were fabulous. The only one who really got injured was Ricky because he was so big and cumbersome. But Ozzy used to just skip past people. They never used to they
He
never
danced around,
get
didn't he?
near him. He used to put his arms out. No one got near him. So, and he wasn't a dirty player, Ozzy. Whereas Romero, he gives a lot of shithousery, doesn't he? He does. He courts danger, the boy. He loves
No,
it.
he
He
does,
lives
yeah.
for it. He plays on the edge, but what we got to do is make sure that he doesn't go over that edge. And Conte should be keeping him in check because now he's gone and 10 days missing. That's going to damage our chances, really, because
Well,
he is our best defender.
well, more to
Oh,
the point, more to the
yeah,
point, more to the point, they need to build a defence around him.
they
You know,
do.
they need to
Yeah,
get rid of Davis, get rid of
get rid of the dead wood.
Dyer. Yeah, get rid of the deadwood and bring
Yeah,
in the new boys. You know,
yeah,
and it's no good hearing them people saying, "Oh, we're not going to sell Bastoni," for instance. Well, listen, money speaks all
yeah.
languages.
Money
There's no reason
talks.
why
That's
we
what I
can't
said.
get him.
Of course,
Yeah,
there isn't.
that's, that's
If we
true.
wanted to go and get him, put the lira down and get him. I know the boy loves his club, Inter Milan and that, but they need to sell. They're either going to sell him or Skriniar or one boy up front.
Yeah,
I think no. I saw it last week. Their manager Inzaghi, he said that they're not gonna sell anyone. That was gonna be one more player joining, and then the squad was that they were not gonna say sell anyone because actually they didn't need to, which is weird. I don't know what they've done, but they're not gonna sell anyone.
Must, but
what's that
they're
mean?
very crook. They've been doing some crooked deals in the past into Milan and Juventus. I think was it Juventus who got banned for quite a while
They
when they
were
did they
relegated for
found
match fixing.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. So there's a lot of this that goes around football, you know. There's a lot of dirty things that happen in football that we don't even know about, and they come out later, you know. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's Inter Milan have pulled something really dodgy.
Yeah,
Just
listen,
gonna throw
let,
Barcelona's name in there as well
I
because
just
apparently
want to.
those guys were bankrupt and now they're signing Rafinha for 70
Do you see
million.
what I mean? How do
Lewandowski.
they do it? I know they do
Listen,
this. They've given away their TV rights and things like that. But what is that? 75 million? Is it
They
75
want
million
to
they get each year?
yeah they
someone
want
So
to
that for
buy
3
Bernardo
years,
Silva for 80 million. How?
yeah.
We're on
Where
the
are they getting
bankrupt.
this money?
It's
yeah,
insane.
This is
listen.
offshore money.
There was a comment just now about building around the team, etc., etc., etc. A team never stops building. It shouldn't do because you should always be building to move forward and get better. At the moment, we've got players that have been stuck with us for years.
Yeah. So, uh, so much to talk about. Like I said,
There is,
it's
there
a
is.
it's a big blow. Even though it's not 3 to 4 weeks, but it's still a big blow. But let's, as always, we really know how to put a laugh in this show, put some banter. So now it's time for capture this. Oh, that's good job. All right, caption this. The first one, as you guys know, that is Mr. Uh, what's his name for United?
Bruno Fernandes.
Fernandes.
Fernandez.
Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandez. Caption Thiago. People in the chat, caption this.
Um, he's probably saying, "Okay, how do I get the hell out of here?"
Yeah,
'Cause-
yeah.
Or
How
like,
the
yeah,
hell
now I see. Or like, yeah, now I see what Ronaldo was on about.
Still says fuck my life. Yeah, pretty much. Yep. King.
I think he's saying, "What the hell have I done joining this mob? Another loss."
Oh man. Jabby says, Bruno, Cristiano, take me with you. That's
We don't even know if Cristiano is going. Did you
yeah.
see again? He strikes
Ronaldo's
again.
hey, this shit show. He is not. Neil says, I wonder what's the soup of the day is in Lisbon. That is true. That is true. I would say he's thinking, man, imagine if this team gets regulated. I mean,
It
the
would
way
be
they're
funny.
playing.
It would be very funny.
Oh my goodness. You talk about Everton last year. United? Oh, breadcrumbs taste good. Stell says, I play with Ronaldo and we're still shit. Yeah, yeah. Stewart says, I should have stayed in Portugal. Yeah.
You know, it's weird because Ronaldo, he is a coward. He doesn't come out to speak. He keeps replying to fan pages, giving shady comments to Man United. He said that the media has made 100 stories about him. Only 5 are right so far, and that in 2 weeks people will know the truth.
Yeah. When he's leaving, he will bring out the truth. Neil says, I'll be making more a week than not these scabs in their whole career. Shane says, you win some, we lose some. Wait, we lose all. The next one. Ah, this is a real interesting one. This is the equalizer. Harry Kane is headed it in, which I had the whole picture in, but the main point is Mr. Mendy captioned this.
He's saying, "Holy shit, it's Harry Kane."
Yeah.
Me, I reckon he's saying, "Bloody hell! I didn't know he could jump that high."
I'll add on to that. White man can jump.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I
As you
just want to
guys,
say that the second goal was really funny because at first I thought it was Richarlison because he celebrates it like he had scored it. I was like, oh my god, Richarlison scored his debut. And then I was like, wait, who scored?
yeah. Stell says, damn, that's one fine ass.
That is a fine ass.
Still Woody's rude.
Louise is in the house. Big up. She says, nice butt. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. Caleb says, damn, look at that ass King got. Ellie say he's saying more, give me a push up. Oh yeah, because Morris is pushing him up. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. The next one, caption this. It's Conte. Show his fist. What is Conte saying here? I'll go
Yeah.
today. Give me a damn center back.
I hope he's like that on Levy's door right now. Banging the door, going like, give me a goddamn center back.
Shane says, "Oh fuck, Spurs are marching in."
Well, we've obviously just scored there, and I reckon he's saying, "Kill him!"
Kill him! Take that to school.
Yeah, that. Yeah. Yeah. For this
Neil
one,
says, I fucking hate Chelsea.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I finally got invited to Wakey Wake. Louise with another good one. She says, knuckle sandwich for lunch today, boys. Ah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
The
very
knuckle
good.
I like it. Like it.
sandwich. Jamie says, there should be some dragon fire coming out of Conte's mouth. That is true. That is true. Stewart says, Romero, get me some hair. Stell says, hey, Tushel, you see these balls? There's some big mama jama Italian meatballs, bitch. I'm after blood, and these boys are giving me it. Ellie. Neil says, blow it, garlic. And Shane says, bring it on, punk ass bitches. He corrected himself, punk ass bitches. Too much cheese and sauces make Conte very constipated. Boy. Think of, oh my goodness. The next one.
Ah.
Oh yeah. So I think Havertz is saying, Romero, I secretly have a crush on you. And Romero's like, huh, yeah, because you're my bitch for today. Tiago?
I think Havertz is saying to Romero, "Are you going to give us Cucurella's hair back or what?" And Romero's like, "Nah, mate, not today."
That's a good one. Nah, mate. Not today. Arthur?
I think Romero's saying to Havertz, I'm about to make you an offer that you can't refuse.
Oh man. Stella says, for fuck's sakes. Emerson, did you eat ketchup and mayonnaise? Don't mess with Havertz. I cut the ketchup and mayonnaise. Don't fuck with me. All right. We could go to the next one. There is Romero. What are you talking about? Or what are you talking about, Willis? Neil says, pass the tapio. Oh, got some good ones coming. All right. Hello. Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Lionel Richie, guys. Lionel Richie. Hello?
It's
Is
me
it
you're
me
looking
you're looking for?
Oh, I
I
thought we
can
were going
see
to sing
your
Adele.
eyes. I can see that you're blind because I'm gonna tackle you hard. Oh yeah.
Hello, it's me.
Hello, it's me. Okay, okay. We're almost done. Almost done. I have bigger men than you to poke. All right, the next one. Antonio and Tuso.
I think we did it, didn't we?
Oh, actually, we did do that. We actually did do that. You're right.
Yeah, I did in the beginning.
Took me once. Shame on me. Okay, we'll do this one. We did the other one earlier. This was an interesting one because Antonio was looking at his hand.
The funniest one I saw on Twitter, and this is the one I'm going to use because I just loved it. I spent like half an hour laughing at that. You know those things people put in their hands that when you shake hands, they give you a little shock?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best one. That's for me.
uh,
The one that is a sequence. Conte handshaking with Tuchel, Tuchel handshaking with Havertz, and Havertz handshaking with Joachim Low, that manager that scratches his balls during the game.
oh
I was like, now it makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. Like, I've seen Joakim Low do that. Either pick his nose or dig his pants.
And then he would like,
Neil says, "I just wiped my ass with that hand." Antonio, he's actually looking down. Antonio's like, "Hey, kill that roach there." He's looking down. Look, oh, kill that roach.
when I saw that live, I was like, holy shit, it's going off. There are gonna be punches here.
why are
Conte
you?
was ready to throw hands.
Why are you giving me the tickly pinky right now? Oh, your soft, your hands are soft. I thought I was shaking a jellyfish. Or Antonio could just, Antonio could be just, well, Tusha could just, I just in my hand. And Antonio's like, oh, you bum! Le bum, boo, tootsie fruity. Hey, Tusha, I told you I want to dance the Macarena, man. Now just drop it. Neil says he must use Palm Olive liquid soap. And the last picture, which is the picture of the week, the capture of the week. It's Romero pulling Cucurella's hair. Oh, yeah. This picture says, that's how I like it. My hair being pulled.
Um, for me, Romero is going, you're my bitch for the night. Come here.
I think I think Ramiro's saying I didn't think it was for real, but now I've got your hair, I know it is.
Neil says, is
Let's
that
be
weave?
honest, it's ugly.
See if it's a weave. Bitch, I'm snatching your wig.
Sorry, Daniel Levy asked me to get this for him.
uh,
I'm gonna hang this wig on my pole tonight.
my cave awaits. Romero is the front runner for Salon d'Or. Cucurella is going to get taste for this prison bitch behavior. Oh, man. Well, I don't know if Tiago has time for the Bob Spur question of the week. This is the Bob Spur question of the week. Do you have about 5 minutes?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'm scared though.
The Bob Spur question of the week is always a wild one, guys. It's always a wild one. So here's the Bob Spur question of the week. Which player would you want
Ooh,
a DNA in your child?
only one?
Yep. Actually, which player would you want their DNA in your child, and which one you do not want their DNA in your child?
Okay, so many to choose for both. I think I would want Son Because I mean, the guy's good looking, really good at football. No, I want my kid to be good looking and rich too. And who I wouldn't want? It's tough because I wouldn't want Winks. I wouldn't want Davies. I wouldn't want Dyer. I wouldn't want. Um, I think I'm gonna go with Winks. I don't want to go. No, no Winks DNA in my family. Wouldn't be my child. Let's just say.
Okay. Okay. Arthur, which Spurs player would you want their DNA in your child, and which one you would not want in your a child?
I wouldn't want anybody else's DNA in my child other than mine and my wife's. um, if you're saying what type of player would I like my child to be like? Spurs, I suppose. Kane. The one I
Okay.
wouldn't want it. The one I wouldn't want him to be like is Dyer.
Dyer. Okay. Uh, at least breaking news. I'm looking on Twitter. I don't see that. If you can give me the source. Oh, we see a 3 touch ban. Oh, okay.
Three Thatch.
Thatch.
That's what they call you here.
She's back.
Yay! My battery
Yay.
died.
Hey.
So what was the question?
Oh, the question is, which Spurs player you want their DNA in your child, and which Spurs
Oh.
player do you not want in your child?
That's a good one. I wouldn't mind the player I'd want the DNA in my child would be Harry Kane.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's it not Højbjerg? It has to be
No.
Pierre.
No, because Harry Kane's better. Sorry, Højbjerg, but Harry Kane is better. And the worst player would be Eric Dyer. I wouldn't want his DNA.
Would be a big head.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I'm torn. I'm torn because I want to say Romero or Tanganga. It seems that they have that
oh
BDE
yeah,
energy. And so I want
they
that
have.
that big dick energy. So I want that gene. So though they already got it from their father, but we want that with even more aggression. So I'll say Romero. And then the one player I would not want is Davison Sanchez because he was slips and skates. That hand-eye coordination, I would, my child would be harmed by having Davison Sanchez's DNA in them. So yeah,
Yeah.
But
Oh my God.
he was that Viking blood, that PEH. He was that Pierre Hoiberg, a Viking blood.
Yeah.
What it
Hey
was,
Shane, what do you have
It was a
against this
close call
Brazilian man?
between Pierre
Just
and
because he's
Kane.
Brazilian, don't want them.
Another player who, if I didn't pick Kane, obviously it would have been Højbjerg, but another player I would choose would be Mora because he's got such spring on him. My kid would be athletic. He can jump higher than the 6'3" players.
Neil says, I'll take
And he's a
Gaza.
good dribbler.
And I'll take Gaza. Football Gaza, but brain dead due to boozing. I would not want it.
That's true.
It's true. Aaron says, I'll trade my daughter's boyfriend for Sonny any day. Romero, no way. He'll cheat. Love him though.
Your daughter will be set for life.
Oh man. He says Sanchez is one of the most athletic people on the squad.
Yeah,
Not
he is.
football good.
Yeah.
Physically, I guess.
Yeah. He's an athlete, but he's not a footballer.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Sissoko was a bit like that as well. Who's scouting these players, for God's sake? I think we got to sack them. Well, they have been sacked, actually. One thing I want to see, though, lads, is our goal set piece coach. If we're going on Chelsea game, he hasn't done a good job so far. Apart from the corner, but then the corner was brilliance by Perisic. You can't teach that. That's just God-given talent. Putting that ball in like he did. It's fantastic. Is Sonny a virgin? I want to know. His dad banned him from shacking.
That's true. That's true.
He has.
That's a good question. So, the last part before I send this off, thoughts on the Wolves game. Now that we know Romero's not playing, no way, Sonny pulls major trade tail, major tail. Your thoughts on start with Thiago. Your thoughts on the game on Saturday, and Romero's not playing, so what do you?
Wolves is always a tricky game. Of course, we lost to them at home last season. They haven't started the season well, so they will want to win as well. They're going to, come in to get the 3 points, so we need to be on our toes since the beginning. And yeah, that's my thoughts. I hope it's a better performance, and I hope we see Perisic as well. And I'm sorry, Mara, but I need to go because my family is here. My mom's already here. Thiago, come. I'm like, I'm going. It's annoying.
You have to listen to your mum.
Right.
Once the mum call comes in, you got to go in it, Thiago.
Yeah. Moms. And she's like, she's not going to stop. She's going to come here close the laptop and be like, get the fuck out of here.
She'll do a Romero on you. She'll pull your hair. Come on.
Thiago.
But I need to go. My family's here because they're visiting for a few days. So I got to give them a hello. Even though I don't like them, but I need to give them a hello.
Oh, my God.
So, guys, thank you. Mari, thank you for
having me. Thank you, Thiago.
Yep.
Love you all. And hopefully 3 points on Saturday, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
All right. Arthur, your prediction. What's going to happen on Saturday?
I'll push the boat at 4-0 to Spurs.
Okay. Yeah, and remember, Wolves don't have Connor Cody back there. Their defense, I want to say, is a little bit shaky.
But they sold him to Everton. Yeah, because Everton were interested, weren't they?
I think I want to say they put him on loan. Doggerman's in the house.
Yeah, because he's from that area as well. So, yeah. 4-0, good prediction, Arthur. I can't be so optimistic myself. I would say 2-0. I'm going to go for 2-0.
2-0?
Because I think we'll keep our first clean sheet. 2-0 to Spurs. Kane and Sonny.
Yeah. Try for Connor Cody.
I can't do it. I could go 3-0, but I'm being a bit too optimistic. 2-0, because they have got a solid defence still. Yeah. They've got that Max Kilman, haven't they?
Kilman,
I think we'll want to prove ourselves again.
They're pretty decent side, Wolves. They just don't get the results that they deserve sometimes. Because they outplay teams.
He's on loan.
Yeah, he's on loan to Everton. But I saw him against Manchester United at Old Trafford, and they played Man United off the park. But that's not that hard, really. But they have been impressive in other games, but they just don't get it over the line. They're one of these nearly teams, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I think we've got to do some payback to them because they beat us 2-0. We can beat them 2-0 this time or more. Yeah. Come on, you Spurs.
Good. My prediction for the game is that I think we're able to. I think Wolves are weaker this year. I think they get weaker
Mm.
each year goes by, and for me, I think that we offensively bounce back. I think we are not put up four, but I think we'll put up three. I think we'll put up one in the first half, and then second half, um, we'll just be on running on all cylinders. We need to
Mm.
because
Yeah.
like the performance against Chelsea was not pretty, and yes, we got a point. I think offensively we have to be more in sync. Um, and
Yeah.
I think Sunny's gonna come good. And Kane him they're gonna link up along with Kulu. Uh, I
Yeah.
think Ryan Mason's gonna do a good job as he's gonna be, you know, in charge. Because it's a touchline ban for Conte. So I think it should be a comfortable 3-0 win at home. If we were going to if it was a road game or a away game, I would say it's a bit tricky. We still win, but we're at home. I don't think Wolves have a chance um, in, uh, in they'll probably put up a fight the first 15 minutes, but I think eventually we score one and we are going to win comfortably 3-0. So
Yeah.
They've still got a good. They've still got a good fantastic midfield. Actually, they've got Martinho, Neves.
yeah,
They've got Neto. They've got a good team. It's just that they don't get over the line. They fail to score a lot of the time as well.
but yeah,
Their
but
their,
there's
their
something
defense is
there's
pretty
still
solid.
something with them.
I still think we'll beat them. But they are a good side. They play some nice football. I like watching Wolves, actually. They're
It,
my
re-
sort of secret pleasure.
it
I
really,
like the way they play.
it really depends on what side Conte picks.
Yeah. I think he has to start with Perisic. And
I this is
I would put Richarlison in for that
Yeah,
25, 30 minutes that he gave us. We
this will
looked a lot better.
possibly Bissouma from the
if
start.
I would check.
Yeah.
I would put Basuma in with Bentancur, give Hoiberg a
Yeah.
rest,
Let's see how they play together.
Yeah,
see how we play together. You know,
Well,
I was
he dropped Højbjerg for the Wolves game last year, and we were pretty woeful. But I think it'd be nice to see Bentancur with Basuma, even
I,
though my man can have a rest on the bench.
yeah.
It'd be good for him.
I'd like to see them go 4-3-3.
Yeah, or even 3-5-2. The thing is, with Wolves, they're very good in midfield, so we have to match them.
yeah,
We
Exactly.
have to match them in there because that they will overrun us because they've got very technical, gifted players in the midfield, and that little Podence is quite decent. You've got to
Yeah.
watch him because he's all 5'3" of him, but he'll wiggle in and out of that, and he runs forever. 'Cause I
But
was watching him
I'm still
in the
surprised
home game.
hasn't
I'd
tried
like
moving
like
down.
Bissouma, Højbjerg, and Bentancur would be a nice midfield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be those three. If he wanted to take that option, it would be a very good option. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that no one hasn't, you know, pry away, Neves from Wolves. You would think he would be
I know.
another
It's very
like
surprising. Maybe because he's got a lot of Portuguese lads around him and he feels comfortable at Wolves and he's
Yeah.
never put in a transfer request. He must be
yeah,
happy there.
I think he is.
Yeah. Some
yeah,
players are content, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They're loyal as well. They've got a loyalty streak in them.
That's right.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's
Well,
rare these
guys,
days.
It's very rare these days, yeah.
yeah, no, that's all. Neves are great,
They are very good.
and they're still Wolves. It's just you scratch your head. It's just like but It is half of their squad is from is Portuguese. So you know, they would like to play with each other. So
They do. The Portuguese are very technical players. They're very good. You got one at Man United who might even join them.
yeah,
You never know. It wouldn't be a bad move
oh,
for
yeah.
him, you know.
No.
It wouldn't be a bad move for him. They'll probably finish higher.
There's George
I'll put my
Wolves.
money on it that
You know
Wolves
what?
will finish higher than Man United, the
If
way
you
they're
put
going.
Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes on Wolves, you know what? Wolves could be they could be a top six squad.
Yeah,
To be honest, yeah,
they could
I mean,
do. With those
yeah,
two additions,
yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah,
they've
I
got a
suppose.
manager who can speak their language as well.
They will play better than United. That should be a question that I post up. If you took
Yeah,
Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes, right, the two Portuguese players on United,
yeah.
and put them on Wolves, right? Would Wolves make the top six? I would
I,
think.
I, I,
Oh, we lost Ellie.
It's down to you and me now.
Would they make the top six? Hypothetically, because Fernandez would never go to Wolves, and Ronaldo too. But but if hypothetically, if they were to, I would think that they'll make the top six.
Be interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Goma says, oh, okay, just about the same. Not a top six squad, seventh, eighth. Huh. I'm
Well,
thinking
they
of, yeah.
have half the
I would
Portuguese team.
look at the depth for a top six run, but I mean it would be a very, very tough opponent for any team.
Yeah.
Any team. Top 10. I don't know about top six. Okay.
Well, half of
Well,
them would
then
be
United.
half of them would be the Portuguese national side, wouldn't it?
Yeah. They'll be just a par below West Ham. So yeah, top six would be because West Ham I think would have a better squad.
Top eight, cut the
Yeah,
difference.
top eight, top eight, and I won't disrespect Arsenal. They'll be up there. So they wouldn't be better than West Ham and Arsenal. They'll be better than United. They'll be better than United.
Anybody's better than United at the moment.
They're the Leicester City. Oh, he says top six if they play Torre.
Listen, Mari, Man United are a very strong team. They're at the bottom holding the rest up.
That's what I love about you, Arthur. Arthur, tell the people where can they find you?
Um, on here, on Spurs Wasian, and get me on Facebook, get me on Twitter.
Okay. Well, you'll definitely see Arthur here on Wednesdays. I'm having you back, being back.
Yeah.
It is a pure joy, and there's some other things I'm going to bring up the next couple of weeks on the show. And Gogama, I need to get Gogama on one of these weeks. I have to get Gogama on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just want to thank everybody for coming on today. Neil, Shane, Aaron. Uh, I just want to just thank them for coming on. Some other people I mentioned. Stella was on. Um, who else? Jamie. Uh, yeah, I mean, who am I leaving out? Let me look up. Scott. Caleb, Danny,
Bob
uh,
Spur,
Bob Spur, Ben. A big up to Luis,
Danny
uh,
Kiriakou,
Danny. Uh,
Still,
uh, Understand, Alexander Steak, Bryce.
Shane B,
Yep. Not trying
Scott,
to. Jihan, Lisa, of course. Just want to give a big up. I hope I didn't forget anybody. Mark Swift with the post of the day. He said, "Have Bobby K's kids,
and the
son,
lovely Goguma.
and the lovely Goguma." Just thank you for the support and yeah, yeah, and a big up to Louise and her input and definitely if anybody who follows us follows the show. If you want to be on the future episode of Spurs Lounge, please let me know. Find me on Twitter. Let me know, and I will make it happen. Uh, when we get some more people, when we get some different people on, and so yeah, uh, anonymous worm. Uh, okay, yeah, one post, but uh, big up to him. So. Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. And please spread the word about the show, subscribe and like. Uh, my goal by the end of the season, and I know I'll make it, I need 700 more to get to 1,000K. All right, so I'm at 300. I want to get to 1,000K. That's the goal. And so hopefully I will get there. But, Arthur, I think it's time for us to go.
Yep,
And let's give our fans a big come on, the Spurs.
big up.
Come on, the Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.